everybody, so today I want to do something a little bit different on my channel. I actually want to talk about my experience of working with a company called Angelfish. Now this is not a sponsored, paid for, promoted video in any way. In fact, Angelfish don't even know that I'm making this video. And Angelfish are actually a company that you sign up to and then you basically get email invitations to take part in surveys or studies that are being done by various companies from around the country. It can be anything from health to medication to vaccinations to even the home, which is what I'm actually going to talk about today. So I signed up with Angelfish around a year ago and I've actually only taken part in my first piece of research recently, which is actually just a couple of weeks ago. And I wanted to talk about my experience because I think it's worth talking about. I think it was, I don't want to give the game away, but I kind of have to. It was a great experience, so I want to share it with you because I think it's well worth signing up with them. It costs you nothing to sign up. You don't pay any fees, you don't pay to take part in any studies. In fact, you get paid to take part in studies. And I was sometimes getting a bit frustrated because I wasn't getting any studies at all, but really what it's about with Angelfish is finding the exact people who are perfect for that study. It's no good getting a bunch of people where they're not going to know anything or have any kind of experience that's relevant to what you're studying. So you really need to find people who are relevant. So I understand, it's just sometimes you can sign up with them and you might feel a little frustrated that you don't get anything straight away or it takes a while to get something, but for me it was really worth the long wait that it took to get something, which I just did. So basically how it works is that Angelfish will actually send you an email invitation for a study. You click on it, you answer a couple of questions and it will tell you straight away whether you have been considered or not. So it'll say, sorry, but you are not suitable for this particular study, blah blah blah. And you can actually refer other people, so you can forward this actual email to other people that you know and they can actually apply for it too. So now that my daughter's 18, I can actually send her surveys, I send them to my husband. Anything that I think might be more appropriate for them, then I pass it on and then they can have a go and see whether they would be eligible. So it's really easy, it's incredibly quick to fill in the questionnaire, it's very short, it's not very intensive. They basically ask you just a few questions and they know within those few questions whether you're going to be suitable. So before Christmas, around December, I actually got an email invitation through to apply for one that was about the home. So I replied to that, I answered a few questions and I said that I'd been successful enough at that stage that I'd get passed through to the next stage and that I would hear about it. So I then got a telephone call, I believe that was early January, I can't quite remember when I got the phone call. I got a phone call of a lovely lady and she had a chat with me about the home, about my home and about my kind of attitude to decorating and about furnishings. We had a lovely chat, we had a lot of fun, we had a good laugh. And then she said, right, okay, well that's the end of like the phone interview part of it and we will be in touch. Very quickly after that I got an email to say that I'd been accepted into the survey and that I would get information nearer the time about what I had to do. Now all I knew at this point that it was a blog. I knew that it was a 2-week blog, but that it was a private blog. So I would actually blog for a 2-week period onto a specific site, and I'll get into that as we go on, but I'd blog onto there and nobody could see that apart from the staff. Now it's actually a home survey that was requested by IKEA, so only people from IKEA management would be able to see any of my answers to any of the questions. And what would happen is you get a number of tasks. Some of them you might have to do a bit of video footage or some photographs, and you'd also have to also chat, so you'd have to actually write a blog post. And it would basically, it'd be very directed though, and yeah, that is basically what I had to do. And so I started doing it, I think it was the 20th of January I started, I can't remember. I know it was 2 weeks and it finished on the 11th of February. But I can't quite remember all my dates. So it started off with the first day, which was basically an introduction to my family and my home. So a picture of the house from outside, pictures of the family members, and just some information about the family members themselves, and then just a little bit of information like memories in the home, certain things that stuck out and things that we loved about the home. And then from there on it moved on to a different post every day and then some mini tasks and mini posts, and it was all just about basically the home, entertaining in the home. And then it was, you had to do like room tours of specific rooms that they asked for. Within those they always would ask about soft furnishings in the room, they asked about lighting, and they asked about storage as well. So I can only assume that those are things that they're looking to maybe expand within their current ranges in store. and they wanted to get some information from people, normal people, everyday people, people who live in the UK, just to kind of get the feel for what it was that was missing. And so what the first one was, like I said, was that, and then I had to do a living room tour, and basically it was just showing what was in the living room, and I really enjoyed doing it. You know me, I'm a creative person. If you've been with me for a while, you'll know that. But I enjoyed it. It was like looking at the lighting within the room, the soft furnishings, and then I had to write a post about it and answer questions. They also asked about memories within that room, things that you'd like to change maybe in the future. And to be honest, I did this every day. I did the living room, the kitchen, the bathroom, a bedroom, and then I did this dressing room as an additional room because you could do an extra room. And every day you got to talk about your home. It got me thinking about, let me explain. So at the moment there's a lot of things that are wrong in this house, but currently I'm a student and my husband's only working part-time. So we have a lot of things that we want to improve in the house, replace in the house, and there's a lot of things that actually physically need doing in the house. And we don't have the money to do it now, but if I get a good job, we'll have the money to do it in the future, and that is why I am currently doing my PGCE in education. It's to get a better career and have more money coming in. The dining room floor is collapsing, we need a new back gate, there's no light on the landing, there's no handle on the bathroom door. There's a lot of things in the house that are wrong, and I think that sometimes what had happened with me over the past couple of years is I'd fixate on the things that were wrong more than the things that were right, because I'd be worried about them. I worried that the dining room floor's collapsed in one place, of course, and you can't walk on it. I worry about a lot of things in the house that were broken or faulty, and I would fixate on the things that were wrong with it rather than things that were right with it. Now, as I wrote the blog post every day, I started to relive the memories that I'd had in different parts of the house, looked at the things that I loved about the house and the things that I loved about the rooms, and how I repurpose furniture and repurpose things like jars and tins and use them for other purposes. I give life to old items that normal people would actually throw away, but I don't do that. And it got me looking at this house and how unique it is, how much it reflects us, how much it's full of the memories and the love and the laughter we've had as a family. And it really has made me completely appreciate this space so much more. And I know that sounds ridiculous, it's your home, but when you live in your home, you can sometimes just kind of, you live there, you're there every day, and you can be a bit, not neglectful, but you just kind of take it for advantage. It's your home, and you just kind of just go about your normal business, do your normal activities, and you don't think about it. And this blog made me every day look at my home in a new light, look at different things and think, yeah, that's wrong, but look at this. Thinking about, I had this great memory here. We've got this cabinet in the bedroom that my husband found at the bottom of the street. It had been dumped. It was bashed in at the side slightly, and it was painted this horrible grey. We sanded it, painted it, repaired it, and then we just got some little material drawers from IKEA and put them in, and it created so much room in the bedroom because I had this massive stack of clothes that I had nowhere to put, and it was, you know, all it cost was those drawers. And I look at it and I think that kind of takes me back, not just it's great that we've got that and it's solved a problem, but kind of that he found that, he carried that home. I mean, I don't know how he did it, it's quite heavy, but we worked on that together. That's a memory in itself. So I don't know, sometimes we take for advantage, we don't take advantage, but we just forget about things like that. And it got me to thinking about all the happiness and the memories. We had to think about memories in the front room, memories in the bathroom. That's, you kind of think, how am I going to think about that? And then I did have memories though. There are memories in every single room. And I think that we forget those sometimes, just kind of living fast-paced lives and just kind of, like I said, just living in a home. It's just, it's kind of just this place that you live, but it's so much more than that. So I just found that the blog really made me feel really positive about my home, and I started to look more at the positive things and the things that I love again. So I'm really glad that it kind of breathed that happy sort of life back into me about my home. So that was really good. I really enjoyed doing that every day. Like I said, I did it for 2 weeks. Loved it. Loved taking photos. Loved chatting about things. Loved being really reflective and really honest, because that's me. The only people who could access your blog posts were the management team at IKEA. Every single day I would have a management member from my local IKEA. He would comment on my posts, he left lovely comments, and also just put kind of questions, so kind of expanding on what I'd written, and I would answer those. And I just had a great time. And throughout this experience I've got an itch. It's not snot, I promise. All the way through this, Angelfish would keep in touch with me. So I got a couple of texts saying, you're doing really well, thank you so much for taking part in it, thank you for your enthusiasm. I got a couple of emails throughout that period and it was fantastic, and just before it ended I got an email to say, don't forget you need to do this, this and this to get the full amount of the reward that you're going to get. And I just felt really supported by Angelfish and IKEA throughout this whole process. I think that IKEA were really, I loved the questions, I loved the interest, I loved the feedback. That was another part of making me feel really good about my home and what I was sharing, and that I felt that I was having an input somewhere, and it made me feel like my opinion was important. Not that it's not, but it was good. I really enjoyed it. So Angelfish, very supportive throughout the whole process. When it finished, email straight away, right, we're just going to review all the answers and we'll get back to you. Very quickly, I think it was the next day, I got an email that said, congratulations, you have earned the full reward. For this actual one, you got £100 gift certificate or online gift an online gift certificate for Love to Shop. It's different amounts and different things for any survey that you do. So for one survey you might get £30 of Amazon, for another it's something completely different. So it varies from survey to survey. I think because this one was quite intensive, it was 2 weeks, it was videos, it was photos and it was a blog. I think that's why it was more. Basically I can use that at a number of different shops, and I've already thought about some makeup that I'd like to buy at Debenhams, because you know I haven't been able to, so I'm very excited, very excited as you can tell. So I just think it was a massively positive experience, and it's not just the reward at the end of it. I actually felt that the process of what I did and the input and what I got back, it just was a hugely positive experience for me personally, and it's definitely made me feel very differently about the house, and I had a lot of fun doing it. So I'm really excited to have taken part in it, and I can't wait to see what comes of it, whether there's going to be anything different coming from IKEA or anything, but fantastic. So that is basically it. I know it's been a bit waffly, but I really just wanted to share it with you. I'll put a link to the Angelfish site down below. They do a variety of surveys, and at some point one of them will fit you, and you could have a great positive experience like I've had. I'm looking forward to the next one, but I'm gonna say I'm not in a hurry, because when I first signed up I was in a hurry. I was like, come on, I want a survey, I want to earn money, I want to get an Amazon voucher, I want to do this. But then when it came down to it and I got this survey, it became so much more, and it was so much more of a rewarding experience. So it became something that wasn't just about money, it was something that was very personal for me, and it was fantastic. And I also feel like I helped, so that was very good. So that's it for today, guys. I am not sponsoring, promoting this company at all. It's up to you whether you sign up with them, and just if you wanted to, just take a look. If it's not for you, it's not for you, but for me this was a really positive experience, and I just wanted to share it because I think that it's just worth sharing things like this. It's just my channel is not just about makeup and beauty, it's about the personal things, and I want to start doing sort of more chit chat sort of videos anyway, and I just thought this was a pretty good way to start it, because I think that if I can share something that was a really positive experience for me, why not share it? You could do something like that and get the same sort of feeling back as well, and I'm sharing it because it was really positive. And I'm waffling and going round in circles as I usually do, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe as always, and don't forget that link to Angelfish will be down in the information bar below. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye!